She's my witch. Hello humans, my name is Dael Kingsmill. Today should be Halloween, hopefully. In the spirit of reviving some of my old videos that aren't accessible on the Geek and Sundry Vlogs channel anymore, I thought I would retell one of my favorites I've ever done, the tale of Stingy Jack and the first jack-o'-lantern. I will say, fair warning, ordinarily, when I do these videos, mythology, fairy tales, what have you, I typically know the story, but before I film the video, I go and I re-research the story and I read a bunch of different versions of it, a lot of different source material, and I bring you something that is fresh from my brain, fresh from some source material. That is not the case today. I can't find the source material that I used last time, and the sources that I found for the tale of Stingy Jack are not exactly the most, academic. So what you're getting today is the proper campfire tale version. This is how I remember the story going the last time I told it when I had done some research. So sit back and enjoy an oogly boogly spooky tale. So, Jack was an Irishman of ill repute, shall we say. He was a drunkard and a thief and a liar, and on top of that, to boot, Jack was a bit of a trickster. He was known for playing awful tricks on all the people of his town, but this particular Halloween, this particular Halloween evening, one Samhain, Jack is playing tricks. This year, he's got a killer idea, right? Jack takes a pumpkin and he carves a face into it, a horrifying face. Pointed teeth in a grisly grin and evil looking eyes, and to complete the effect he puts a candle on the inside to light the whole face up from within so that it looks like a devil from hell. And he hides the jack-o'-lantern in the bushes along a road, a long and lonesome road. And so when the townspeople are walking along the road at night, one at a time, they see this horrifying fiery face from in the bushes and they run screaming into the night. Terrifying it was, terrifying! Jack thinks he's done a pretty good job and he goes off for the night. So you can understand with this sort of behavior, Jack has earned a reputation. And the reputation's not a great one. His town doesn't love him. In fact, his reputation was such a powerful one that it had reached the ears of Satan himself. And the devil thought, ah yes, this one is for me. This is a soul I must collect. So as Jock? His name is Jock now. So now, as Jack is walking home along this quiet stone road in the countryside of Ireland, he comes across a dead body on a bridge. A dead body is a gruesome thing. It's very freaky to see, especially in the middle of the night. But Jack does think to himself, maybe he's got a little cash on him. He doesn't need it anymore. Why shouldn't I have it? So Jack goes to check the pockets of the corpse, and as he approaches, the corpse rolls over and it's got this horrible, huge smile on its face, just like the one that Jack carved into the pumpkin. And the corpse sits up and introduces itself. Pleased to meet you, Jack. I am Satan. Jack's like, ooh, no, I've done it now. I'm in some trouble. Satan explains that he's come to take Jack to hell for all of his misdeeds, but Jack, thinking quickly, says, okay, Sure, but I would like one last request. And the devil says, yeah, okay, that sounds agreeable. What would you like? I would like to share a drink with you. Come with me to the pub, Satan. And Satan's like, hey, best last request ever, let's go get turned. So the two of them go to the pub, they drink themselves a little bit silly, but when it comes time to pay the bartender for the drinks that they've been having, Jack pats himself down and he says, I'm really strapped for cash at the moment, but oh, you know what though? You're the devil, right? You can trick anyone. You know what you could do? Turn into a silver coin, and I'll pay the barman with that. And then you can turn back and we'll off to hell. The devil's a bit drunk, so he's like, great plan. Turns himself into a silver coin, which Jack promptly takes, and he does not give to the bartender. He puts it in his satchel. You know what's in his satchel? It's a bunch of crucifixes, because Jack was robbing a church earlier. So the devil is stuck in coin form. He can't, none of his powers are working because he's surrounded by the power of Christ. And he's like, okay, Jack, that's enough. Let me out. And Jack's like, no, let me out, Jack. No, you're just gonna take me to hell. So the devil says, oh, okay, all right, let me out and I'll make you a deal. I won't come back for you for another 10 years. How about that? How about that, Jack? Let me out of the bag. 10 whole years of life. Jack thinks that's a pretty sweet deal, and he lets the devil out of his bag. 10 years go by. Jack is living the life that he's always been living, tricking people, stealing things, lying, all that stuff I said at the top. And before he knows it, 10 years is up. It's Samhain evening again, and Jack, walking home along a quiet country road, comes again across the devil corpse on the bridge. The devil's a little madder this time. He's like, "It's time to come with me now, Jack. Come with me to hell. You know you belong there anyway." Jack's thinking on his feet. He's like, yeah, sure, okay. Except I haven't eaten tonight, and I'm very hungry, and I would love a last meal. So why don't we just go to the pub and buy a— No! We're not buying anything, alright? You can have an apple from this tree. I'll get you an apple from the friggin' tree, alright? We're not paying for nothing, no coins. Not dealing with that again. Okay, alright, fine. Devil starts to climb the apple tree by the road. He gets up to the top. Just as he's reaching for an apple, he looks down and realizes that Jack has been carving crosses around the trunk of the tree in a ring, and now the devil can't climb back down. Damn it, Jack! Jack says, "Sorry, Satan, man, I can't deal with this. Hell seems like a lot, seems like not really my speed. I'd really rather hang out here and keep doing me. It's a lovely offer, I'm sure you're an excellent host, but not for me, thank you very much." And with the devil stuck up in the tree, he has no choice but to make another deal with Jack. Jack says, "This time, 10 years isn't enough. I want your guarantee that you will never take me into hell." Satan sighs and says, Fine, Jack, I will never take you into hell. Just let me out of this freaking tree." And Jack does. And the devil goes on his way, and Jack goes on his. I would love to be able to say that Jack lived a long, happy life after that. Would I love to say that? I don't know, he's robbing a lot of corpses in churches. But it turns out that drinking so heavily all the time and making everyone hate you, not great for your health, not great. So he died not too long after. And Jack traveled in his afterlife to the pearly gates, where he hoped to enter heaven. But Peter told him, "Jack, you spent your whole life tricking people and lying and thieving, and you robbed a church that one time. There's not a lot of good to work with here. I'm sorry, but can't let you in." And Jack's like, "Ooh, okay, what do I do now then? Better head on down to hell." So Jack goes, "Oh, well, I guess it's better than nothingness." And he follows the path all down the other way until he gets to the gates of hell. But Satan won't let him in. Satan reminds Jack, no, you made me promise that I would never take you into hell. And here we are, Jack. You're dead. You're in limbo. Can't get to heaven, can't get to hell. I don't think I could have devised something better myself. And Jack is freaking out. He doesn't want to hang out by himself in the void forever. Any afterlife is better than this. He begs, he pleads, but Satan will not break his promise to Jack. He does, however, do him one favor. One last favor. He tosses Jack an ember baked in the fires of hell, fueled by the souls of the damned, so that Jack can light his way through the darkness. And so Jack wanders. He wandered and wandered for a long time until one day he found himself back in his old town, and he saw through the bushes on the side of the road a face carved into a pumpkin. He took up the makeshift lantern, placed the ember inside, so that he might protect it to his best ability. But now, every Samhain, Jack returns to our material plane of existence, carrying that grisly, horrifying face, and he is now known as Jack of the Lantern. Now keep in mind that Jack has to keep his ember lit, otherwise, as he wanders through the void, the nothingness, he'll have nothing to light his way. And so people began putting out their own carved pumpkins, lit by candle fire, to frighten Jack away from their doorstep. So if you see a jack-o'-lantern face bobbing through the night this Halloween, just beware that it might be Jack on the lookout for more souls, hoping that his light will never go out. Happy Halloween! I hope you enjoyed that story. I know that jack-o'-lanterns were originally turnips, and it seems the common version of this story says that Jack happened to carry a turnip in his pocket because he just loved eating turnips, but it's just not as festive to me. I'm sorry, Team Pumpkin all the way. Now, before I forget, you might have heard of Nanowrimo. It's every November. It's a sort of a challenge that people put themselves towards. That doesn't sound like a real sentence. People who write and are trying to get novels written, things like that. This is a challenge where basically they have the month of November to try and write 50,000 words. That's what Nanowrimo is. Now, I made a light-hearted comment on Twitter the other day that I've got, you know, a bunch of half-finished game design projects for RPG stuff that maybe I should use Nanowrimo as a month where I just pick an RPG design project and actually finish it. And people are into the idea, actually, and a lot of people have said that they're gonna join in now. We've ended up with the hashtag Gamerrimo. So this is a very impromptu, sort of incidental, last-minute game design challenge, basically. So many people were into the idea, I thought I would share it with you, and we'd make it, like, actually a thing. So the idea is that we're gonna use the month of November to try to finish an RPG design project. So whether that's a sort of a campaign setting guide to flesh out your world, whether that is a collection of homebrew supplements. Maybe you want to design your own adventure path for people to play through. Maybe you want to be really bold. Maybe you want to actually try to design your own game system. The idea is that we're going to really work hard to get it not done exactly. We don't want it to be like a polished final product necessarily. We just want to push through until it's ready to be play tested. Get to a point where you can actually like put it in front of people and say, hey, let's try this. This is basically, it's like a game jam, but instead of designing over a day or two, which is great, it really puts the pressure on, but it does tend to lead to more sort of pocket-sized projects, whereas I want this to have a little more breathing room so people feel like they can make a bigger thing if they want to. I've made an email address that you can, after the month is done, if you've made something, you'll be able to submit the work that you did to that email address. It might be fun at the end of the month to do a stream where we just sit down and we go through a bunch of people's submissions and we look at the kind of stuff that people came up with. This isn't competitive. The goal is not to make something perfect. The goal is to make something in spite of quality, to finish making a thing so that you can then continue to make that thing better. Reiteration is the key. We learn best from 1,000 tiny failures and tweaks. I want to see as many people designing games as want to design games. This will just be fun, it'll be a community thing, we'll make stuff, we'll share it with each other, at the end we'll all celebrate. I had like 1,000 other things that I planned to say earlier, but now I've told the story of Stingy Jack and I don't remember any of it. But hopefully you get the point. Hashtag Gamerrimo. Apart from that, I do believe that's it. I'm done. Email this to your grandma and I will see you some other time. Happy Halloween! That was me being spooky. But, I mean, don't look at the mess that's around me, but check this out real quick. This is my shirt. And look, there's a kid trick-or-treating dressed as a werewolf. And in the moon, there's a werewolf that's looking over him that is the spirit of Halloween.